Hi, Steve Cooper, Rank Success, and welcome to another short video in relation to all things promotion. And I've called this video Act or Accept, because it's a pretty blunt kind of title for success, taking action and achieving success. And I sit down occasionally and I share information with you about the successes of candidates who recently, so I'm going to read you some testimonials now. I'm going to go through some testimonials in this podcast, which I do occasionally, one or two at a time. But I thought, seeing as recently I've had such a run, there's been such a run of successes, I thought I'd do a small selection here from you and then share and pick up on some of the insights around how these officers acted in order to achieve their success. And these are officers at different ranks, so sergeant, inspector, chief inspector. They're all recent, they've all written to me or delivered their feedback or made it known to me by text, by email, by Twitter, you name it. I love receiving it. And this today is about success, but I want to try and pull out some of the learning points from it to try and give you some steers and some indicators as you go forward with your own promotion aspirations and get across the bridge to the other side to where you want to be for promotion. And you know, as I normally do, if you don't want to listen to this, or you'd rather come back to it later, or you'd rather just listen to some of it, and you want to hit the ground running with your promotion aspirations, you can download a promotion digital toolkit at any time for sergeant, inspector, chief inspector, and a 4-hour promotion masterclass anytime you choose to do that. So just go to my site, ranksuccess.co.uk, and have a look at the resources that are available. But you know, at the end of all of that, once you've taken action, and it's only action that gets you promoted, whatever you know people say about promotion, the only people that ever got promoted are those that took action in their own interests. So I want to just start going through some of these testimonials, if I could do, and hopefully you'll find some of the insights and guidance helpful and supportive. Okay, so this first one is from Angela. Hello Steve, I began my sergeant's process this time last year. So there's the first point. 12 months of prep, exam to paper sifts, and then finally my board this week. Started watching your short videos on your channel around presentations. That's this channel with all the short videos that I make available on YouTube. So your channel around presentations, answering questions, topics, and the almighty plan on a page. So I also do podcasts as well, and that plan on a page is a concept that I try and encourage candidates to think about. You can sit there and have a whole load of notes and folders, and people often do. You know, A Tale of Two Cities over here, War and Peace on the other side, and they've got all their promotion preparation. It's just too much. It's overwhelming. 3, 2, 1, plan on a page. One side of A4, turned landscape, and if you can't put it down like that, then try and get it as close to that as possible, because it makes it manageable and it reduces it and refines and distills it to something that you can work with. But as Angela alludes to, 12 months of work have gone into that piece of paper. Okay, so I just received a call to say I passed, first time round for me, and I just wanted to send you an email to say thank you. The guidance and support you provide really did keep me right on track. Many thanks. And keeping you on track is what this is about. It's what this video is about. It's what all the videos about, all the podcasts, all the YouTube videos, most of them free, more free information and content that you can shake a stick at, and long may that continue. So people can take free resources and get promoted with them, and there's the proof. Okay, the second one is Dear Steve, this is from Gary. Dear Steve, I sat my sergeant's board process in the Met yesterday, and I'd like to thank you for your interview preparation package that I purchased a few months ago. So again, a few months, there's a hint there, a few months of work went into this, a very useful tool. All of the questions in the process are rearward facing, so the more of these, the better, and your specific practice questions are gold dust. So a couple of things there, very useful tool, great, that's why I kind of designed it, and you know, it does what it says on the can there, but Rearward facing questions he talks about. Well, there are rear facing questions in promotion processes. There are forward facing questions in promotion processes. There are strengths based questions in promotion processes. Some forces like the Met, I don't normally mention the Met, but it's been mentioned here, and I don't normally mention the individual forces, but it's been mentioned here, and it's relevant to the example because the Met do use, as is alluded to, rearward facing questions. The West Midlands use mainly forward facing questions at the moment, and some other forces mix and match the two. So as a promotion candidate, you're going to be thinking about including in your preparation getting match fit for both of those type of questions, and also head on over to my blog and have a look at strengths based questions, because they're a great way of you thinking through and working through the concepts and topics and issues ahead of your promotion opportunity, and free up that flexibility of thought. So that's two down. We've got some more to go. This third one is from Kwok, Chief Inspector Candidate. Hi Steve, I wanted to let you know I passed. Thank you for being so accommodating and meeting me at dawn for a full-on coaching session on the day of the Queen's funeral. That was an early day, both up early. You know, the individual taking action towards getting promoted, doing everything they can to make the most of the opportunity that's been offered by the force to secure a senior leadership position and knocking on the door of superintendent for the next promotion. So, you're committed, I'm committed, I'm providing all this free information and bespoke digital toolkits and resources for you to hit the ground running. Act or accept, and I'll come on to the accept bit later on. The session really helped to cement my learning. So again, I don't teach, I just try and help. I can't teach, I can just support people to think, encourage thinking, and to respectfully provoke and challenge it around the issue and the topic, so that you can kind of develop that a little bit more. So really helped to cement my learning, and more importantly add some final confidence fuel in the tank for the Chief Inspector Board. So that's often what a lot of people describe promotion support doing, whether they've taken action and kind of secured that confidence for themselves through reading the toolkit, thinking through it, working through it, practicing questions. It all helps to raise your awareness of what's going on in policing and the challenges, and to build incrementally your confidence as you go through the process and head on towards the process. And it is an iterative thing, so it's not just I'll do a bit today and I'll let it drop, a bit like golfing. You practice golfing and you get really good, and then you take 2 steps backward all the time, 1 step forward. That's how it seems to me anyway, as well as it being a good walk spoiled. So thanks again, best wishes. And so that's another individual officer's experience recently. The next one, hi Steve, I've recently been listening to your podcasts after being sent the link by a friend. Thank you, friend. I rely upon people sharing word of mouth and sending links to other people, so whoever you are, thank you. I've just had my Chief Inspector promotion board and I absolutely smashed it. Thanks to a lot of hard work and listening to lots of your podcasts and using your digital promotion toolkit. With my learning style, I hadn't thought that listening would suit me as well as it did. I had lots of food for thought and reflection from your inputs, and I wanted to send you this as feedback. Thank you for providing so many free resources for people like me to succeed. So that's from Al, and there's again a couple of things in there that Al alludes to. A lot of hard work. So, just because you've got a digital toolkit that covers all the things you need to do in terms of signposting and guidance and direction, it doesn't mean that I can do the work for you. That's about you taking action, prioritising your time as best you can, and making that time available to read through it, to work through it, to think through it and reflect through the material, as Al has done. The podcasts are there for listening, and Al alludes to listening. She didn't think that she would be able to listen and learn in that way, but the whole idea with me providing blogs for reading, podcasts for listening, and for other resources, is for how people tend to learn. That people learn differently, approach things differently, but this is also about you taking action however you learn to try and incorporate some materials and information and resources to help you get better, to incrementally improve on the run up to your promotion opportunity. So that's another Chief Inspector there. This one's from Andy. Over the last couple of days, I've watched a number of your videos and listened to your free podcasts. I'm pleased to say they really helped me change my prep, and I passed my board today. Thanks very much for providing such excellent material. So short, sweet, punchy there. Free podcast. I've watched a number of your videos and they really helped change my prep. And I think when you take action and you start thinking about preparing for a promotion selection process, everyone's got their own ideas. Everyone wants to kind of take a run up and a jump as they want to, and that's fine. But as with making decisions, you really also want to think through the material you've got, the information you've got, the resources, your starting point. So stage one of the NDM, gathering information, verifying it, checking it, analysing and assessing it. And that's what this video is about, is letting you see it does work, it absolutely works, and it works for lots of people, and it can work for you too. So I'm trying to share some of their insights with you so that you can see it's worth taking action. You spend so long studying, so all those people who just got through the inspectors boards, congratulations. I know how hard you will have worked to do that, and all those of you that are going for it next year for Sergeant Inspector, you're going to get 2 opportunities to do it. So the promotion boards may well have a couple of bottlenecks on them over the next 18 months, 2 years, as people get through these exams. But whatever you do, you want to be able to convert that exam before it expires into, so that convert that leadership aspiration, if you like, into promotion success as quickly as you can, and certainly within that 5-year period. But that 5-year period can dissipate quite quickly, and as many people find out, and I get contacted by lots of people from what I call the last chance saloon. So they're calling me from the last chance saloon. Look, my exam result expires next year, and I've procrastinated a bit up to now. So I'll toodle on with this because we're up to, I think, 12 minutes on the video so far. So this one is from Andy, and I'll try and keep the videos relatively short. This one's from Andy. This one's from Zoe, sorry. Hi Steve, I just wanted to drop you a line to say thank you so much for all of the material you produce. I attributed my success in the 2019 inspectors process to following your toolkit and your guides. Today I discovered that I'd passed my Chief Inspector board first time. I'd been listening to your podcasts and reading your blogs, but I found the most benefit in your downloadable guides and masterclass video, which cemented my knowledge and really helped me to structure my responses. A huge thank you. I always recommend your material when mentoring others now, and I'm so grateful to you for giving clarity to a process which is incredibly competitive and brutal, even when you pass. As I say, that's from Zoe. And again, a couple of things there in relation to that. Listening to the podcasts, reading the blogs. I get calls from people to say they're walking the dog on the beach, they're commuting into work, listening to me, my dulcet brummy tones, and my kind of mad ramblings, I suppose, around promotion. But it all tends to blur into one for me. So I try and do whichever track or path I'm on, and I do bounce around a little bit. But it's nice to be able to get these where she found the most value in the most benefit in the downloadable guides and the masterclass. So people get different value depending where they are on their promotion journey out of different things. It's why I've merged the toolkit for Inspector and Chief Inspector, because they are so closely merged. They're not only merged within the CVF as middle manager, if you like, but many of the role functions and dimensions are the same. But the value we get in the toolkit for the Chief Inspector side is you're knocking on the door of Superintendent, and I do address some of those functions around particularly making yourself attractive for that as a candidate when you go through that process through your own development, and some of the similarities between around the pressures and pushes and pulls on individuals at that rank, and that's all detailed and laid out. So if you like, as individuals here have done, you buy once, you get promoted twice. So it's good value in that way as well. I'm so grateful to you for giving clarity to a process. Well, that's one of the things I've just done, a demystifying the CVF video, which is a 3-hour video. You can have a look on my site. That is about demystifying. A lot of people don't understand the CVF to start with, and they benefit from spending a bit of time just to get orientated so they can navigate through some of the competencies and the values. So I've done a 3-hour deep dive video which you can download and just get familiar with the CVF, and hopefully that will help you in terms of when you actually choose to go for promotion. So if you're someone thinking about going for it next year, great. It's perfect for you for that. And you can download it to your device and just crack on with it. And I'll go through each of the CVF values in detail, bit of a deep dive, and then also through the bespoke aspects of the Metropolitan. So each force, so it's different forces sometimes make them bespoke to their force. So the Met do that, the Police Scotland do that, and a couple of other forces make it bespoke to them. So I've gone through all of those. So I commend that to you. So in terms of demystifying, as Zoe talks about there are other options and tools for you to help to do that. And she alludes to it being a competitive and brutal process. Well, that's great, because those are, a couple of words, competition, that theme of competition is something that people often overlook. Yeah, well, I'm going to be the best I can this year. I'm going to try and get good for this promotion process. It's not good enough sometimes, because everybody's good. Well, I'm going to try and be better than I was last year. Well, great, everyone is. So you've got to aspire to be the best you can be, and learn and pick up on feedback and give yourself every opportunity. And that's where these toolkits, these videos, and these free videos and resources all come in to try and help cement your learning, as people often say in their feedback, and to help you actually smash it, as Elle alluded to. And there's also a theme I'm picking up from all this feedback and comments and testimonials that sent to me of first-time successes. So people literally smashing through and over the moon and on top of the world is what their feedback is. So they've aimed to come first in their promotion process, and they've came first in their promotion process. So if you aim for the stars, you hit the sky. You wouldn't want to aim to be in the top 10. You've got to be aiming to be first in the force. Okay, so this one is from Brian, a very quick one. Steve, just a very quick message to say that your videos have been amazing and have really helped me shape my board prep. I just found out I've been successful in my Sergeant to Inspector board, and there's no way that would have happened without your guidance. Massive thank you. Well, it's very kind, Brian, but I think you've taken action. You intended to achieve promotion success. You've thrown yourself into it. It probably would have happened, but I'm really pleased that the videos and the podcast and the toolkit have helped you identify that direction, help you navigate your way through the process. It's your own drive, enthusiasm, motivation and resilience these days to just get through that process and get to the next step. So well done, Brian, there. And the last one is from Dave, and he says, Steve, I've just heard today that I passed my inspector's board at the first attempt. I've no doubt whatsoever this was achieved by the knowledge and confidence that I gained from your products, and particularly the masterclass. I began last January. There's another person saying I began months and months ago. So what's that, 10 months ago? So there's a theme there for you, and I do find that this one's from Dave, but there is a theme also emerging, and it's all anecdotal because I'm not a real mad metrics man, but it's anecdotal, is that women generally tend to prepare, female candidates generally tend to prepare much earlier on in the process. So it's not unusual to hear them saying a year, 18 months, 9 months, whatever. It's a theme that's emerging, that they tend to kind of give themselves the best run up compared to kind of male candidates who are busy and try and pull things together at the last minute, and sometimes that can be achievable, but for most people it's just too late already. When the force announce a process and they say, hey, get your applications in or register your interest, it's too late. At that point it's already too late for people, even though they're acting or temporary. And again, this is just my opinion, but I just see it again and again and again, and they get through the next time. They just never gave themselves enough run up this time to get over the mark, if you like, and present their best version. Okay, so I've no doubt whatsoever this was achieved by knowledge and confidence gained from your products, and particularly the masterclass. I began last January listening to your podcasts, walking the dog on the beach. I think Dave even rang me while he was walking the dog on the beach, if I remember correctly. And all the way through studying your guides, I was reading suggested material, often late at night, and being well informed on the current and future direction of policing. So that's one of the basics I try and encourage you to do, is, you know, raise your awareness of the current, you know, international, national, force-wide, local challenges facing policing. This enabled me to be match fit, as you often say, and if you prepare well, the prize is there. It was key for me to be able to flex and adapt on the day to speak on a range of relevant topics and not rely on single examples. I was up super early on the day. I went for a run and focused on being confident on what I'd studied in my studies and preparation. Thank you so much. I'll be recommending your services far and wide. So a couple of issues there that he talked about, you know, enabled me to be match fit. That's what we're talking about. You know, boxers often go into the mountains and run and train and do all their, you know, basic work, their road work and their cardiovascular fitness, and then they spend a bit of time in the immediate weeks preceding a fight on fine-tuning and conditioning themselves. It's the same process for a promotion board. Do your building blocks of learning around things, and then do the fine-tuning around practice, preparation. Get a friend, a loved one, a colleague to ask you some questions. Just get into that practice. Not something you do very often, but get used to being in the interview scenario. You know, get someone to sit opposite you with 6 questions. You'll find a whole range of practice questions in the question bank in the digital toolkits, and just sit down and go through 5-6 questions, 6 or 7 minutes for a response each, and just get yourself used to being in that uncomfortable zone until it feels more comfortable, because that's what you'll be doing, thinking on the spot and talking in a promotion process. Whether they give you the questions in advance or not, you still got to use your brain and your you know, your preparation and practice and confidence to deliver on the responses. Okay, so self-management. Dave said he was up super early on the day, went for a run. You know, most people can't sleep the night before a board. It's not natural to have a really good sleep before the board, and he was up and about early, went for a run and focused on being confident in the studies. That's 8 individuals. I could go through more, but I've made the point in this video. It's about taking action now. So wherever you are on your promotion process, so if you've just passed the inspector's exam, brilliant. Don't lose that momentum. You've got a tremendous amount of momentum going there. So whether you want to download a CVF, demystifying the CVF video and get used to that, start getting familiar with that and thinking and working through that, or downloading the digital toolkit or 4-hour promotion masterclass, because life goes on. You will be looking for acting temporary opportunities. You'll be looking to develop yourself, or you should be looking to develop yourself with some vim and gusto now ahead of a promotion process, if you're looking to secure a formal leadership position as a sergeant inspector, chief inspector. And you know, it's tough. It's tough competitive wise. So you know, make use of what's available, act. And I said I'd come back to the accept bit, because I've read out lots of information and we've gone through some insights and learning points and reflection around success. You know, people who are successful, but the action, so they all took action, but the act or accept bit, the accept bit is I also speak to lots of people who are disappointed after a promotion selection process, angry, emotional, confused, bemused, and you know, got to be in their bonnet about the process. And I've written blogs around that. There's one of them called I think it's something around it's not personal, it's just business, a bit like the mafia. And it isn't personal. It isn't personal. It's just that very often you haven't been able to reach that high cusp, that high threshold with all the other candidates on the day. And you know, aside from all the other things around nerves and you know, just having a bad day, all those things happen as well. But the people with the growth mindset, the people that pick themselves up, the resilient ones, the ones that go again, it can sometimes be a real test of your character and your values. And it's a privilege for me to be able to kind of pick people up with that as a coach, as a mentor, and to get them, you know, refocused, reorientated, you know, recalibrated and fired up and revved and ready to go again. And they smash it. And you'll see lots of testimonials where that has happened on my website. So bit of a kind of longer video, this one, focusing on some of the testimonials, but hopefully bringing out some of the learning points and insights that you can avail yourself of anytime you choose to. And I'll finish as I started: act or accept. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will be back with another one in due course. And until then, take care and stay safe.